Welcome in. It is day 361, and you're speaking to the Meeple's Champion. And today we're going over a game that, to be honest, really wasn't an interest to me at all. This is a game that, for years, I've just tried to dodge, but as we've gotten closer and closer to the end of this 365-day review, I had to just start grabbing things that I didn't necessarily think I was ever going to play. The game was called King of New York. Now, the game's actually not bad. It's just not one that necessarily grabbed me. But I gave it a shot, and it was an okay game. The concept is that you are a bunch of monsters attacking New York City, and you're going to basically be getting your monster, and he's going to come with a health token and a victory token area. So you're going to start usually with 10 health and 0 for the VP, and then you're going to be rolling dice. You roll 5 dice, you get to re-roll twice, and then at the end, after you've gotten to the point where you've got your finalized dice, you're spending everything that you've earned. You can spend it in whatever order you wish, but you have to spend all of one symbol at a time. So you might spend stuff like energy to go and grab additional cards. You could spend hearts to build back up your health. You could spend attacks on the locations that you are on the board to try to flip over and earn extra points. There's a bunch of different things you can do with these dice, as well as potentially be hurt, as some of these are actually going to cause the city to fight you, causing you to take damage. Now, you're going to continue this game, and one of two things happens. Either you will eventually reach 0 in your health, at which point you are knocked out of the game, or you will reach 20 victory points, at which point you immediately win the game. You're going to play this game until somebody has reached 20, which immediately ends the game, or everybody has died, at which point everybody loses. That's the basics, but why don't we jump in, let's talk our 7 categories and see where this game lands for us. When it comes to the art, I never had an issue with the art. The box does look fantastic. It's really good art, and the inside follows that up. Your characters, your monsters, whether you're talking about the monster tokens that you're putting out, or you're talking about their card representation, the cards that you're dealing, the board, everything's fantastic. Thumbs up. Your components. So again, primarily you're dealing with your standees for your different monsters, which is a great cardboard. You're talking about your dice. Obviously, rarely do I have an issue with dice in a game. You're talking about the cards you're dealing to everybody, or you're talking about the actual board itself. All of this is really good quality. There's no issue with any of it. It's a thumbs up. Your price. This game comes in $40, maybe as much as $50. It's a little expensive, and yes, the game's out there. It's available. You're going to find it at least in 3 to 5 board game stores. You're going to find it in a Target. You might find it in Barnes & Noble. It's online. And I think that this game is one that will hit primarily for kids and beginners. Kids are going to love this art and the concept. Beginners, I don't think it's too difficult to get them into it. I think that experts and experienced will enjoy this in ways as well. I can't discount them. This is not one of the games that grabs me. I'm not looking forward to try to jump back in and play it again, but that's just me. I'm just not a huge fan necessarily of this area for some reason. I don't know why it doesn't hit for me. It just doesn't. But overall, I can't argue with it. I think that when it comes to the price, it really is affordable, available, and a lot of people are going to be interested in it. So, thumbs up. Jumped right back in there, difficulty-wise. Yes, this is one that is going to be, for what it is, great for basically all 4 categories of people. Beginners, kids, experienced, experts, they're all going to enjoy this game. So, got to be a thumbs up. Replayability. I think that this game is plenty replayable. It could take a while, and it depends on the game. Somebody could just go on a crazy run and get to 20 in a reasonably fast amount of time. Somebody else could end up getting killed in the first 5 minutes, and all of a sudden they have to wait an hour, depending on the type of game this is, to get back in for the next game. But I think because it's a player elimination, it causes you to want to replay the game, and because the game is got some length to it, but it's not like a 2-hour game. It's not a 90-minute game. You're talking about this being reasonably 30 to 60 minutes on average. That allows for people to want to play it multiple times potentially in a day, and definitely allows it so that those who are fans can get this to the table like once a week. So for me, thumbs up. Keys to victory. So you can choose what you're targeting on your dice. You can say, okay, I rolled a bunch of these and I was really hoping to try to cause an attack in one of the cities and I didn't even roll any. I'll re-roll them all. Doesn't mean you're going to get anything, but you could choose to go for that. Or you do your first roll and you see what you got a majority of and you make a decision off of that as to how you're going to go. There's a lot of ways to do this. But no matter what you do with the dice, you are going to be able to gain energy through time. You can spend the energy to grab more cards, and the cards can help also pave a path to earning more health or having a constant flux of attack power or a one-time hit of something really big. So for me, I do think there's keys to victory in this game. Thumbs up. Is the game unique? I had never played the game before. I had never really looked into it much. It just, for some reason, I when it first came out, I learned a bit about it, and I just remember it didn't hit for me, and then I just kind of put it to the side for years, and then I forgot what the game was until I finally pulled it out to play. I have to say that this game actually kind of felt midway like Dice Throne. You still have a character that has the turning sheet. Now, in Dice Throne, you have just health. This was health and VP. But you have this counter. You've got the 5 dice and you're rolling them Yahtzee style 3 times and going after stuff and seeing how you spend them. You may not be directly fighting like in Dice Throne where it's clearly a 1v1 or 2v2 or free-for-all. This is more of you're all fighting on the map and there's a bunch of other stuff going on and you're really not fighting each other directly. But it felt very much unique to that as far as it's the same category. So any of these games you were doing the triple roll where you have a character with a health token. I mean, to me, there's enough to say that they're their own games. They're not identical, but I could see a fan of one being a fan of both and having this be one of those A or B choices every time. It just seems too close to me. I have to say, thumbs down on unique. Overall, what do I think? The game's not for me, but I see that the game is good, and I think it's a game that a lot of you are going to enjoy. So I recommend giving it a try. Be like myself. Don't be afraid to pull it out and give it a shot, even though you don't think you're going to like it. I didn't hate it. I just don't want to add it to my collection. But I'm not opposed to playing it again. I just wouldn't choose to. But if a friend wanted to, I'd be fine doing so. Well, it has been day 361, and we've been speaking about the game King of New York. And you've been speaking to the Meeple's champion. Like, share, subscribe, and check down below in the description. I'll be adding an Amazon link in case you want to get this game for your collection. And don't forget to check me out on Board Game Arena under the Meeple's Champion. Send me over a friend request, a game request. I'm on a couple times a day. Until next time, I'll talk to you tomorrow.